Hey y'all,
What's up, y'all?
welcome to Team Tatum.
Team Tatum.
I'm Elise,
I'm William.
and today we are going to be reviewing Death
On the Nile. So we just got back from an early screening of Death on the Nile. If you don't know what that is, it's the next movie in the whole Murder on the Orient Express world. And it's about Hercule, the investigator, taking vacation after Murder on the Orient Express, but wind up investigating the death of an heiress. So, vacation ruined.
Nito.
So, what'd you think about it?
I liked it.
So, this movie is set in Egypt instead of, I don't remember what
A mountain.
yeah, they were on a mountain. I don't remember where. The first movie was set, they were on a train the whole time. This is set in Egypt on the Nile. They start off at a fancy hotel right off the Nile and then wind up getting on a boat.
First Cataract Hotel.
That
I
hotel.
tried very hard to remember the name of that hotel.
They leave there, go. No. Actually, this movie starts off at a nightclub.
31st,
No, yeah, you're right.
1931,
Flashback.
Belgium.
So
It wasn't even a flashback. That's just when it started, and then it went to present day. It wasn't like he was thinking back on it.
that's not sure. Technical. But yeah, so starts off before this story takes place. Then it moves to a nightclub. Then from the nightclub, it goes to Egypt. And they start off at the fancy hotel. They leave the hotel, get on the actual river, and, you know,
Things happen.
things happen. Murder is afoot.
Death
And
on the Nile.
the soundtrack was dope. Like, I would get that soundtrack, or at least, you know, listen to it. And the score, like just the music in general was really good for me. I was surprised to see some of the actors in it. I didn't necessarily know them, but I was just like, oh, okay.
You're that person from that thing.
Yeah. Well, you look awfully familiar. I think everybody did a good enough job. There was like one person I was like, I don't really know. Your line deliveries were a little off. You weren't terrible, but I was just like, somebody should have said, let's do another take. But for the most part, everybody did a good job. Cinematography was good, like nice camera angles and all that. It shot really well, nice lighting, some cool lighting effects, especially during like the interrogations. They were doing some things, like the comedy. Like, it's not a comedy, it's a drama, you know, whodunit movie. But when they did sprinkle in the comedy, it was nice. It wasn't like swing and a miss. Just like the first movie, Kenneth Branagh, he directed and starred in it. Which I don't know how people do that. Like, how do you do that? Like, I've always wondered. Like, I mean, obviously you can't be at two places at once,
I'm like, cut.
but
I don't like this. Let's change this. Alright, let me get back in my position. Y'all in your positions. You look good out there, cameraman and everybody. Action.
so when they're on camera, they tag somebody in to be behind the camera.
Just to say yes or no to questions that they have. This is what I'm assuming. I don't know either.
But anyway, he did it two times in a row, and I think he did
And a
a
dang
good job.
good job.
What else you got?
So, this movie was set on the Nile River. They're on, it's not really a ship. It's kind of a ship.
Sure.
It's a ship. And it like everything happened on there. Things happened before then, like he was saying. It started off way back in the day, cut to present day for their present day. Then they ended up actually in Egypt for the special events and ended up on the ship, and that's when all the drama went down. But when they were on the ship, like just seeing all of Egypt, it was really beautiful. They passed a bunch of monuments there. They were on the pyramids at one point. They were at Ramses' tomb at one point, you know, the one where it has the statue sitting outside, like super high up for the entryway. They were at that. Some stuff you just, you saw the Sphinx too when they were at the pyramids, and some stuff it was just like palaces and homes and all that along the riverbank while they were going. A few oases. What's the plural for oasis?
Oases.
I'll go with it. A bunch of those, since, you know, the river has the water, so stuff can actually grow. So it's like the desert, and then grass and trees and all that prettiness.
That was super interesting to me. Like, I've never really looked up pictures of Egypt for real. Like, Egypt is just pyramids, Sphinx, river.
Sand.
Yeah. But when they showed the aerial shots of deserts on either side, except for, like you were saying, right? Like, it was crazy how it's like desert. Like, what you consider desert, and then just boom, lush, just trees and grass and stuff. But it was only like maybe 30 yards out from the river, 50 tops, and then the rest was just wasteland. Well, not wasteland.
Stuff couldn't grow there.
Yeah, like what you think of when you think of sand dunes and all of that, but just right along the river.
And then the way that the movie was shot was really beautiful. It was very bold, but also soft at the same time. It was a lot of white. A lot of people were wearing all white through the movie, and it might have been the theme for the event that they were at. I'm not sure. I don't think they said that, but it could have been. Or it could have been because they were in Egypt and they were trying to keep cool. Who knows?
Hoity-toity.
Either way, it was pretty. The boat was white, like the ship was white. They were dressed in white, but everything else was super colorful. So it made the white stand out in a different kind of way since everything else was so colorful.
Including the people.
Yeah, very diverse cast.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Yeah. What else do I have? Like he was saying with the cast, I was surprised. I knew more about this movie than he did. Well, I didn't know about the movie. I just knew who was in it. We don't usually watch previews. He definitely doesn't watch previews for movies. I sometimes don't. But for the most part, we go in blind when we see movies. So when we're watching it for the first time, that's when we usually find out the cast,
what's it
all
about?
Kind of everything. Yeah. Who done it? Because they give away almost everything in previews now. So you can watch a preview and know the whole movie, which is why we don't really watch them. But I was surprised to see a lot of the people that were in this movie, especially one person. I was like, hey, what are you doing in here? When he came on the screen, and I think a lot of people were surprised to see him in it. I may be wrong, but I feel like I wasn't the only one.
I was.
You were?
Surprised.
Oh. But yeah. So I feel like that's all we can really say without telling too much about the movie, because if you tell anything, it's going to tell something else pretty much. But I would tell you it's a movie about a death that Detective Poirot has to investigate, and they are stuck on the Nile during the investigation. That's as much as I can tell you. I'm sorry. I don't want no trouble.
So going back to Orient Express and why I personally liked it more than Death on the Nile. But again, I like Death on the Nile, but it was like a notch below Orient Express. And my reasoning was the whodunit aspect. I literally had no idea in Murder on the Orient Express. And it was a ride to try and figure out, because we love doing that, try to figure out who did it before it reveals who did. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah,
But
that's
the point of the movie, right? But didn't know or whatever, right? Until it was, close to doing it. But with this one,
it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
almost.
it was pretty easy. Or we just watch
too
many
movies. That's my theory.
Which is probably 70% true, because we do watch a lot of movies. So for that reason, I was like, it wasn't as fun of a ride. It wasn't like, let's get this over with. I know who did it, because it was still like all the stuff, the red herrings and the clues left here and there was still cool, and like the cinematography, the acting, all that stuff was still good, but I didn't have that like, man, I seriously don't know who did it. So that was not. Other than that, it was good. So what would you rate Death on the Nile?
4.5 stars.
4.5. Huh? So Murder was 5.
Also 4.5 stars. So I would make this 4 stars.
I would say 3.5 for me. Murder was 4. Like Murder was 4, maybe 4.5. But since I like this one less because of the whodunit aspect,
Wasn't whodunity enough?
It wasn't whodunity enough. It was like,
They
you did it. Clearly you did it.
You done it.
It was like it wasn't a stretch. So I was like, you get 3.5 for that. But again, everybody, like, the actors did a good job. Music was great, cinematography great. Just the whodunit aspect, 3.5 out of 5.
Yep, there you have it, folks. 3.5 plus 4.5 divided by 2 gives you an average rating of this. That's going to be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all stick around for more reviews in the future. Also, check out our last video, which was our first video for this channel. It will be linked right up here for you to watch, and also on the end card. But that's it for me. You got anything, sir? You heard it here first, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Tinted On.